share with you out here today. On behalf of the families who pointed out for Lynne and from the families who are sharing to be here today for the loved ones. You're always not able to live stream, but on www.4hoursmh.com, in a few hours, the services will be recorded and available on our website. If you don't know how we're going to record it, Rabbi Erica will lead us here and a middle service. And Shiva will be at 477 Sherman Road, Springfield, PA, at Wendy's house. Rabbi?
Thank you. We're going to begin with the ritual of Kriya, which is a tearing of our clothes. And I'm going to ask those of you who are wearing pins, so it's the children, Ian and Iris, Lynne's sister, to come up to me. And if you all could just hold prayerful silence while we do this ritual. But I will explain it to everyone. In the Jewish tradition, when an immediate loved one dies, we represent externally the tear in our hearts and our lives. And this is a moment where we acknowledge this new reality. And it's painful and devastating, but you are going to still be standing after you tear. And with prayers and the love of friends and family and the strength of Lynne, who will not let you guys not keep going, you will, God willing, experience healing in your own way, in your own ways. But you're not going to be the same. So this is an acknowledgement that there's a literal tear in the fabric of your lives and heart. And it used to be we would tear our clothes, and now you can wear a ribbon, so you don't have to tear your clothes. And the tradition is to wear the ribbon to let people know you're in mourning, but not to wear it on Shabbat or Jewish holidays. But it's really your tradition. I'm going to say the prayer in English, and then I'm going to say it in Hebrew next week if you have to. The prayer in English is, "Blessed are you, source of life, judge of truth." And my understanding of that prayer is at this time of profound disorientation, it's surreal, like this is the deepest mystery. It's beyond our comprehension that we put our faith and trust in the higher power. So I will say it, you'll repeat it, everyone will say amen, and then you'll just give it to your ribbon a little tear. And you might want me to start first. You didn't get, okay. It's hard to see black. And it goes over the left side, it goes over your heart. No, that's what yeah. For children, it's on the left. Okay, so the blessing is Baruch. Blessed are you, creator of the world, servant of the judge of truth. Great. Yeah. You got it. Okay, great. see my strength, the Zimrat Jah and the Song of God. Hayley will be for me Yeshua, salvation. Lynne Gibbs. I can't say her name without smiling. I can't. A shining light, a daughter, a sister, a mother, a wife, a Grammy, a grandma, a friend, a teacher, a paralegal. I would add a coach, big time coach. And Wendy, when I saw what you were wearing, I thought that is perfect because I'm going to be talking about Lynne as coach. And she was definitely my coach. But in listening to her children speak, I had an opportunity to first speak with Wayne, with Wendy and Whitney, and then the following day with David and Todd. And it was interesting how similar things were said in both groups without you knowing it. And they resonated because the Lynne I got to know, and I only knew the Lynne who lived at first the Abramson Center, Bushel Center, was the same Lynne that I was hearing about. There were things that expressed themselves. They came out slightly differently. So for example, she did not like to sit in one place. So even when she was confined to a wheelchair and one of her legs could not be bent, she would try to maneuver, and if you ever saw her room, there were lots of nicks and the whole D1 section, because nothing would stop her, not even a wall. And so then when I got to hear, as a child, the children, Lynne was always moving, it made sense. She was consistent. And to her family, I know this has been a very challenging road. And, but I want to say a few things. I want to say that Lynne did not the Lynne I got to know did not feel sorry for herself. And she did not want people to feel sorry for her. She wanted to do what she wanted to do, and she pushed herself. And I learned that she pushed a lot of people, but she pushed herself. And she really did live a rich life at the center. And she became a fundamental part of the fabric of the center and of many people's lives. And through her, we were all blessed to get to know the mishpacha. And we are all works in progress, each human being. And if anyone can demonstrate the spirit of not giving up and not letting life's challenges knock you down for good, she kept getting up and kept growing and learning. And I got to see so many things that she did. And she is one of the strongest people I've ever known. And I will hear her as a coach in my head telling me, keep going, don't give up. But with a sense of humor and with lots of love and quirkiness. And so, Wendy and Whitney, you stepped in as daughters, but you became caregivers. And there were some role reversals, and it was not easy. But the grace with which the two of you would show up, you would not know that was not, you made it look easy. I remember when I was a young girl and my mom took me to ballet, and she would say, a sign of a really good dancer, but we could say athlete, is they make it look easy. They make it look so graceful and smooth, but the work that goes in and the strength, you two came in with such grace and such love. You lit up your mother's world, but you also lit up the center for so many of us. And so on behalf of the community, I want to say thank you. Ian, you went on your own journey. You did not know where it was going to go, but you were there, step by step, figuring it out together with Lynne. You were both equal. You both had opinions. You both hashed it out at times and didn't always agree, but you were in it together. And you evolved. You grew, and you became part of the fabric, including offering your own programs. And you also started going to programs that Lynne didn't want to go to, but you would come to them. And sometimes you would say to her, come with me to this program. And she didn't want to. She wanted to do her thing. But you really became part of the community as well. And you grew a lot, I believe. I got to see it. And David and Todd, your love and support for your dad, you were a source of infinite strength and comfort, which I believe helped him be able to be so present for Lynne and be at the center. That you were there looking after him. And you helped worry about his needs when often he was focused on Lynne, and I would actually add other people at the center. There's a cohort of family members who just show that the heart can hold a lot of love and care for a lot of people. And there are family members here who were part of the cohort. So if you're on D1, the right side, Lynne and Barry of blessed memory, and Brenda of blessed memory, we got to see what family of choice, the beauty of just creating bonds that are based on love and care and concern. And Wayne, when you would come to the center, and there was one afternoon where I didn't know you were coming, but I was leading the Healing in the Moment program, which Lynne religiously participated in. And it's interesting because for someone who had Spielches, who had antsy pants, she would do this meditation program with me and really loved it and would say very profound spiritual things. When we'd have a conversation, she really got deep, which was really inspiring to me. And one day, your visit coincided with the Healing in the Moment, and I believe we were outside for this particular visit. It was a beautiful day, sort of like today, and we were in Mother's Garden. And we hadn't discussed this, but you ended up teaching the 4 square breathing, or so it was a breathing technique, which helps to regulate the body and the nervous system. And we were all just transported, and your mother was so proud. And of course, all the times the families were together, we got to see grandchildren and partners, and so all of you taking care of one another, and your mom, that's, when it came down to it, what did Lynne want? She wanted her family to be together. And life is complicated, people live in different areas. She wanted you all to be pursuing your lives. That was important. So she understood. But you found ways to be there with her whenever you could. There were pictures all over her room. You were with her till the end. And the most beautiful blessing, I think, at the end was to have all 5 of her children with her. I was blown away when I heard that. I saw Lynne on Friday and spent a lot of time with her, and then I was going to a conference in New Haven, and it sounded like that might be the last time I saw her before she passed. And when I came back on Tuesday, I found out that she had just passed the early hours of April 15th, and I think she was waiting for all 5 of her children to literally be together with her. And what a beautiful send-off, and fitting for a woman who was devoted to those she loved. And that was a beautiful tribute that that you offered her. So I am going to be quiet for a few moments, and I am going to call up her daughter Whitney to share some words.
It'll be fine. My mom had the best smile. A big laugh. She was funny and clever. Pronounced clever. And a little bit mischievous. She worked hard and loved big and literally never sat still. When I was small, she cooked and cleaned and ran us all around town, always at least 10 minutes late. She played tennis and jogged in swim laps. She was creative. She sewed and crafted. She painted big black letters on the door, when I was learning to read. She painted a rainbow mural and clouds in Wendy's room. She even once had a business selling woven dough rolls called The Breadwinner, which my father loved. She was late for everything. She ran for the train every single day. She was always late to pick us up after school or practices. Sometimes she'd be so late that we would call collect, and she would refuse the charges, but then show up. She always showed up. My mother was also really tough. She would have called someone like her a real balabusta. She knew what she wanted for her children. She knew what we needed. You're happiest when you're busy, Whitney, she would tell me. Still true. She didn't ask us what we wanted. She knew what we were good at, and she pushed us without saying. When college didn't take for Wayne, she pushed him towards sales. She knew Wendy and I needed to be creative. She pushed Wendy towards art school and sent me there on Saturdays to take classes too. My first class when I was 14 was figure drawing. It would have been nice if she warned me that those figures were nude. She made sure we looked our best. She sent a chunky preteen Wendy to summer camp and pulled the counselor aside to say, "It's okay if she comes home a little thinner." Wendy and I worried just this week, if Mommy isn't here, how will we know if we gained 5 pounds? Our hair was not our hair until we were 18, meaning she had veto power on any style. Somehow Wayne's mullet did not get shot down. Wendy's hair was glorious, thick and curly, would really hold a style. But Mommy always hated my hair. It was straight and stringy and thin. She would curl it and twirl it and put it in pigtails, and 5 minutes later she would tell me I looked like a ragamuffin. So after years of struggle, she had it cut short and permed, and I went to my first year of summer camp looking like a young Richard Simmons. My mother was also a witch, like her mother before her. She always knew when one of her kids needed her, even if we hadn't spoken in days. As I got older in college and beyond, the phone would always ring just when I needed it. If I was sick, a bad day at work, a fight with my husband, she always knew. I'd pick up and she'd say, "What's wrong?" with no hello. And later, when I would ask, "How did you know?" she would say, "I just knew." She took care of everyone. She made beautiful dinners and holidays. She made sure our family stayed together. She always made us important. Wayne and Wendy were leaving home around the same time she met Aya, and she took care of him too. She helped him stay organized, she planned their social life, she cooked and cleaned and did the laundry. She loved folding laundry. It was her love language. Iron wasn't handy, but Mom had her own tools. She would tell Wendy and I to make sure we were in a relationship for the right reasons. She would say, you need to ask yourself, what the fuck do I need him for? She took in Todd and David and loved them and cared for them like they had always been hers. The schedules, the sports. Every night, she whipped up a dinner, lickety-split, for 3 kids in high school after working all day. To be fair, it was a lot of broccoli. She was brave and indignant with her diagnosis of Parkinson's. She never really talked about it. She didn't complain, to us kids at least, and didn't stop doing what she wanted until her body made it impossible. She didn't give up until she was forced. But sometime in that time, the tables turned. Ian started taking care of her. When she moved into Horsham, he was there every single day. He brought her coffee and lots of candy and went to services and activities. He made that time bearable for her and all of us, and we can't thank you enough. My sister Wendy, the middle child in every way, became my mother's dream maker. Can you remove these tissues? Yes. She got Mommy out, brought her to parties and Sunday dinners. She made sure Mommy had everything that she needed. Wendy physically and emotionally did all the work to make the last years of Mom's life the best that they could be. Wendy, you need to know, Mommy could not get over you. She was so proud of you, and I know how grateful she was for everything you have done and have become. And personally, I could not have done it without you. My mom was one of a kind. She would tell me, you'll always be my baby. And it was always followed with a but. That you still need to clean your room. She was strong and tough as nails, but she loved us all so deeply. She told me when she was proud of me and when she was not. But no matter what, I will always be her baby.
Taken. These were beautiful, beautiful words. And now we call it Sophia, one of Lynn's grandchildren.
Today we gather to celebrate the life of our grandma Lynn, a woman who is completely, undeniably herself in every single way. And if you knew her, you know that there will never be anyone quite like her again. One of the first things you noticed about her were her beautiful blue eyes. They were bold and unforgettable, and somehow, in true grandma fashion, she didn't pass them down to a single one of us. It almost feels intentional, like those eyes were meant to be hers alone, something special that belonged only to her and that no one else could ever have. But what she did pass down is so much greater. She passed down strength, she passed down honesty, she passed down resilience. She passed down her name to me, Lynn, my middle name, something I will always carry with me with so much pride. I feel lucky and so blessed to share that with her. It's a piece of her that will always stay with me. Grandma had a way of holding on to who she was. No matter what, she always had her lipstick on. Always. Even in moments when she couldn't move much, that lipstick was there. It may seem like a small thing, but it wasn't. It was her way of showing us that she was still her, strong, put together, and not letting anything take that away. That's exactly how she lived her life up until the very end. bold, strong, beautiful, and of course stubborn. She did her things her way. She didn't follow the crowd, and she didn't pretend to be anything she wasn't. She was the strongest woman I've ever known. Not just because of what she went through having Parkinson's, but because of how she carried herself through it all. Our grandma has always been incredibly blunt. She told it exactly how it was. And while that wasn't always easy to hear, and sometimes she would say some pretty cutthroat things, it came from a place of love. Because at the end of the day, she only ever wanted the best for all of us. She wanted us to be strong, to be independent, and to be the best versions of ourselves. Even if that meant teaching us the lessons the hard way. And somehow, woven into all of that strength and honesty, were the little things that made her so special. Like the way she signed every card with her crooked smiley face. Never perfect, always a little bit off, but somehow that made it even better. It made it hers. Or the memories of sleepovers at Grandma's, my brother Robbie and my cousins Dustin and Jake. The kind of memories you don't realize are so special until you look back on them. We would look forward to them so much, especially her cheesy eggs, the best in the world. And waking up to go to water aerobics with her where she taught her classes. Those were the memories that are something so simple, but something that we're always going to hold on to. She loved the beach, she loved tennis, and she loved to dance. But more than anything, she loved watching her family together. Watching all of us laugh and dance and just be together. Especially dancing to All About That Bass. Those moments weren't just fun for her, they were fun for all of us. Watching her big smile and her little claps as we danced around. And even though she wasn't the kind of grandma who showed love through constant hugs and kisses, her love was something that you could feel just as strongly, if not more. It was steady, it was powerful, and it was always there in her own way. There are so many things I will miss about our grandma. But there are also so many things I'll carry with me. I'll carry her strength, carry her honesty, and I'll carry her love. And I will never forget those bright blue eyes. I will never forget how when my cousins, my brother, and I would give her kisses, she would smile and say, "Delicious." And as much as it hurts to say goodbye, there's something she made sure of. We're all okay. And we're okay because of her. Grandma, your love is delicious.
And now I'm going to call up Wayne with some first word.
I probably should have went first. This part's not written down, but everybody keeps reminding us how strong my mother was. And I look at my sisters, the women in this family. She definitely passed down that trait. So I want everybody to know this was written without the use of any AI. Only spell check. And I just said to the rabbi after listening to Whitney and Soph, I probably should have got first. So we'll see how this goes. It'll be fine. It's really a pleasure to see those that love our mother here in attendance today. I really enjoyed seeing everybody as they walked in. Now as I look out, I see people that have known my mother for different parts of her life. some over the past 10 years, some over the past 30 years, and some much longer than even I knew my mother. That in itself begins to define some of the most special traits of our mom. The fact that I'm standing here in front of you, reading glasses perched upon my nose, and plenty of morning pains is testament to the long life our mother lived. And although she has now passed away, I can hear her saying to me, clear as day, it'll be fine. When I think about my mommy, and by the way, that's how I have her in my phone. I've always had her in my phone as mommy, ever since we had phones. There are a few descriptors that stand out. The first one is obvious. Mommy is stubborn. For any of us that have ever been in a negotiation or conversation regarding a decision in which our mother had an opinion, it was going to end one of two ways. Her way, or you determining that the right decision was to make it her way. This fed into a second trait of moms. Mommy is strong. Mom was always strong, both mentally and physically. When we were kids, Wendy, Whitney, and I all swam on various teams during the same season. I swam competitively. No, let's say that. Every night during the week, Mom would begin the carpooling after school, 30 minutes each way, Gulf Mills to Upper Marion, shuttling one of us to practice, returning home, cooking a full dinner, as Whitney alluded to, getting back in the car, and repeating this about 3 times per night. And she, wait a second, don't ever call Mom she. Mom did this for years. Her dedication to us was unmatched. Granted, everyone has their limits, and I believe getting us ready for school was where things crossed the line. Mom would wake us up, help us get ready, and then send us on our way with her trademarked mom breakfast. Toast that was literally charred black like a briquette, with a square pad of unspreadable cold butter in the middle on a napkin. And we would turn to Mom and say, Mom, it's burned. Mom would take a butter knife and scrape the charred top off, hand it back, and simply state, it'll be fine. And off to school we went. To this day, I eat my toast burned to a crisp. Remind me later about the motorhome story. Another great example of Mom's strength, resilience, and confidence. Now, of course, we did not recognize this at the time, but Mom never missed an opportunity to support and prepare us for what life had in store. Speaking of preparing you for life, when I was in 5th grade at Gulf Road Elementary School, they had sign-ups for flag football or field hockey. Flag football was on Thursdays, the same day as Hebrew school. So Mom told me to sign up for field hockey. It's true. So I told my mom, I said, Mom, field hockey's for girls. She told me to sign up, so I did. The next day, the gym teacher pulled me aside and said, field hockey's for girls. Not embarrassing at all, but a lesson in confidence I will never forget. Later today, be sure to ask me about going to football practice in pink pants. It'll be fine. Mommy's competitive. Many of you have sat across from Mom during a heated backgammon, rummy king, or blackjack game and witnessed firsthand her reaction if Mom did not come out on top. I recall once, about only 46 years ago, when Mom and I played tennis against each other. Mom liked tennis. Mom was a fierce competitor, and let's just say the ride home was a bit quiet. Mom is fun, or excuse me, Mom is driven. If Mom puts her mind to it, it is going to happen, no matter of the result. Mom is fun. Many of our most fond memories revolve around Mom spending time with the family down the shore, sitting on the beach, cooking out in the evenings, walking to get ice cream. My mother would ask, should we get seconds of ice cream? But never heard anybody else say that. And then having Mom disappear in the morning by bicycle for a quick rendezvous with a slot machine in Atlantic City. Another story to ask me about later is how we would extract Mom from Atlantic City later that day. And that sense of humor. Nothing was better than to see Mom smile, smirk, or laugh at a joke or occurrence involving especially us. It was even funnier if it was at our expense. While growing up and becoming a husband and a father, I often thought about how I became me. The reality is that I'm just like my mom. Mommy molded me into who I am today. Recently, I've been talking about my mother a lot, and my phone is, of course, listening. So I saw a meme, is that the right thing, guys? You make fun of me all the time, on Instagram, so it must be true. That science confirms that your mother is always with you due to a biological reality known as microchimerism. This is when during pregnancy, cells migrate between both mother and baby, and those cells have been found in adults throughout their life. I'm not sure if this is even a thing, but I do know that the traits that I'm most proud of and that make me me are those from Mommy. Steel, hardened steel. We can catch up on many more stories about Mommy later today, but those anecdotes will live on forever. Mom was always surrounded by people that were dedicated, loyal, and loving. It's demonstrated here today. Your devotion and attentiveness to Mom was unrivaled. It was never more evident than over the past decade with your constant attendance at our mother's side. Granted, at times constant may have been plenty, but your loyalty was unwavering. Todd and David and your families, Mom loved seeing all of you, and from the moment Mom and I got together, you became loving children. Wendy and Whitney, you've been the local boots on the ground and have been closest to Mom, visiting her often, taking her on excursions, bringing clothes, food, too much chocolate, and facing all the good and bad during your time together. But one thing is, and always will be, undisputed, is that despite me being miles away and having limited visitation over the past decade, I am and always will be Mommy's favorite. And all of her friends know that too. It'll be fine. Mommy had the pleasure of watching her family grow, and she was always and will always be our matriarch. I know we're on a timer. Give me a second. But now Mom has passed on, and it is all our responsibility to carry on her legacy of life, living, and love. And you know what? It'll be fine.
So I looked up I think this did come from AI. I did coach. What is a coach? And I found a coach in sports trains, mentors, guides athletes or teams to improve their skills, performance, and personal development. A sports coach is responsible for the direction, instruction, and training of athletes or sports teams, helping them achieve their full potential, both physically and mentally. They help those that are under them improve in their confidence, connection, and character. Lynne was a coach. And she continued to be a coach at the center. Several years ago, when I found out how athletic she was, so I don't know how many years, it was several years ago, but it was at the center, she actually started teaching me it was more or less like chair aerobics exercises. And so she literally was helping me do some exercises. That is Lynne. She would go to services. She was part of the confirmation class, which was a big commitment of learning and pushing herself. And together with Rabbi Shua, who is with us here in spirit, and God willing, we're going to be also doing a memorial service at the center, but work together with the rabbis to become a bat mitzvah. And that was the first time I got to see her family's dance moves. Like I thought I was dancing, and I thought, I'm a rabbi dancer. And then the family got on the dance floor, and woo! And then I learned a little more about Lynne's history. That she was born, as we know, in Brooklyn. And she has an older brother, Michael, who is married to Susan, and a younger sister, Iris, who is here with us, and Iris's husband, Robert. So Lynne was in the middle. She was 13 when her sister was born. So she was 13 years old when her mother was pregnant with Iris, which was a little challenging for a 13-year-old, but it would be, maybe that's when she first learned it will be fine. But what I also learned was that her mother, Sally, had several siblings, 3 sisters and a brother, and they all lived in the same apartment complex or housing place in Brooklyn, and they all loved to dance. So Lynne, as a child, grew up with dancing and then passed it on. And I really wish I had taken dance lessons from Lynne, but I did get to dance with her a lot. We had lots of musical programs, and in a short while I'm going to play one of the songs that we would dance to. Lynne didn't give up. She kept pushing herself. When I spoke with Todd and David, they said, Lynne pushed us. She had high expectations. But everyone knew they were loved by Lynne. She didn't ask you guys to do anything she wouldn't expect of herself. And she was lovingly pushing you to reach your potentials. Todd remembers the first time he met Lynne. She brought tasty cakes, and he thought, what a nice lady. Lynne loved good food, and you were a great supplier, and Gloria, when you would come to visit, all the and of course Wendy and Whitney, when you would come to that D1 section had really good food. I learned about Mystic Pizza from them, and your mom, of course, would ask me, have some. She loved life. She continued to connect with people. She continued to learn. And their friends, she has friends from childhood that she has maintained from when she was 13, from high school. That's incredible. And then close friends from this most recent chapter. What a woman to be able to have all these connections. Todd and David had a vision of Lynne running home from work with her briefcase from the train station to get home, to cook dinner, to then drive. These are memories that you all shared with me of a woman who worked, cooked, cleaned, did a lot of driving. I don't know how she did it all, but she lived so much in the life that she had. And so for all who are grieving, to her children, Wayne and Mouse, Wendy and William, Whitney and David, David and Jami, Todd and Talita, to her grandchildren, Dustin, Jake and Lauren, Robbie and Hayley, Sophia, Madalyn, Charli, Bella, Alana, Charli, Josh, Noah, Brooke, and the granddoggies, Waffles and Kevin. And to her beloved life partner, her husband, Ian, her brother, Michael, and sister-in-law, Susan, sister Iris, and brother-in-law, Robert, and to the many, many friends. May the love that may Lynn's love, which remains with you all and is part of this universe, may Lynn's love continue to be a source of strength. May her example, you all talked about how she taught you by example to children. What an example these last few years of continuing to live, continuing to meet people, continuing to grow, enjoy life, enjoy good food, enjoy music. Have arguments with your partner to make your voice known. She did not, she was the captain of her ship with the support of those who wanted to try to honor her dignity and who knew her so well that you did what you could so that she could be the captain of her ship. One of the beautiful testaments to it will be fine and it can be done, nothing will stop you guys is, I don't know how many of you know, but Wayne, Wendy, and Whitney took Lynne in 2023 to New York City to see the musical, the Neil Diamond musical. And when I heard they were going to do that, I was, that's, wow. And if anyone could do it, I knew it would be this family. In the pouring rain, I'm told you were pushing your mother and you managed to go to the theater, then to an Irish bar and have a great dinner. There's a lot of inspiration in all of you. And that spark of Lynne, that mischievous, don't just do what everyone's doing, just, find your way. Let that be a light and an encouragement to be yourselves and to know that she's with you. She's with you. She's with all of us. So, I think before, there's a memorial prayer, which I think I'll do that, and then I'll play some songs while we're taking her physical remains to their final resting place. I will ask everyone to rise as you're able and bodied. שוכן בברומים, הרצל מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השחיטה, ומעלות קדושים הטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע, מזהירים את נשמת לאה מלכות סלי ושיה, Begatten Tehemenuchata Adana Rachamim As the river Vistetek Nafecha Yeholamim Uswar Chayim Nishmata Adonai Unachvata Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of Lynne Gibbs, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that she find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bonds of life as her body rests in peace. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. So in a short while, we are going to participate in the important mitzvah of accompanying Lynn's physical remains to their final resting place in this beautiful cemetery. It's quite a beautiful place that I know Lynn, she loved beauty. She loved beauty. And we're going to return her remains to the earth from which we all come from. And then the family has invited everyone back to join them, and this is all part of supporting the family. It's important to make sure they are surrounded with love and life and food. So everyone is welcome to Williams Home, 477 Sherman Road, Springfield, Pennsylvania, 19064. So that will be immediately following the burial. And keep telling stories about Lynn. There's so much still to learn. We can't describe a complicated, full woman like Lynn in one gathering, which is good, because there'll be more stories to share. Jeff, any announcements? I'm going to say one more thing after.
Whenever you're ready, right?
Welcome, and you're okay.
Next to the cars, go to the gravesite.
Okay, so you'll exit to go to your cars, to go to the gravesite, and I'm going to play Dancing Queen as because she was a dancing queen, and I think she would want us all to be dancing queens, actually, in our own way, find our own rhythm. So I'm going to try to connect this and see. And we will continue the service graveside. Oh, I might have Okay, I brought a speaker that actually Lynn and I had given me for music programs, but can you hear it? So, is there an order for them to?
Behind the casket.